Hi, Rob. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hey, just to let you know, I'm driving. We're heading south for the weekend, so I'll be on mute most of the time.
Yeah, no problem, no problem. We are just trying to get some feedback from OCP, and also I have one small concern on the side we have defined so far. I want to have a discussion on that once people are able to join. Give up maybe a couple of minutes to see whether others joining.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Hi, folks. Good morning.
Good morning, Shruti. Let's give maybe another minute or so. Let's see whether anybody else shows up. I know Kobe was inquiring you want to be joining. I hope Deb joins or Mohan joins.
I think Mohan has a conflict. I was just on a call
Okay.
an hour before, and he had to run for another, I guess, Intel meeting or something.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's 2 minutes over. Let's probably get started. Thank you for both Smriti and Rob joining. Maybe I think first let's go through any feedbacks that that you guys or all of us received during the OCP, and kind of I have one more items that I would like to discuss that is regarding the current metrics. Maybe I can start with my input. It was, I believe, a lot of good crowd, and a lot of people were there in the sustainability track. It's really good to see that a lot of work is going on. And also, I think when we present the DCEM, there are some follow-up questions from NVIDIA, and we're able to talk a little offline about a kind of what can be done going forward, right? So I can share that. And one of the things what they're really looking is that the ideal power, if you do the subtract the ideal power, is it sufficient, or you need to account for fan power, cooling, all other things? I think they were kind of asking the questions. So we said like we need to account for that, otherwise it's not real, not really comparing the whole thing. And they said, I think our basically idea looks better than what we are thinking. And probably I asked them maybe they should come in to this work group and present what they're thinking, and maybe we can come to a common ground there.
Sorry, who was that you were suggesting?
I didn't note the name.
Okay.
No,
I didn't catch what firm or what group were you saying came and asked.
So when we presented the DCEM
Yeah.
metrics, right?
Yes. Yes.
What NVIDIA was saying is they want to separate only the ideal power. They don't want to account for fan power or cooling or remaining things as part of the non-compute.
Okay.
Then I explained to them, fan is consuming sometimes 10% of your power. Unless you account, you're not really comparing that thing, right? You're not giving incentive to the other system of coolings, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Then after kind of looking at the number, I think they said, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. Tommy, did you specifically, besides these NVIDIA folks, did you specifically receive any, any sort of any feedback that for which tells us that we should be making a change or, like rerouting, changing course on these metrics? Like, did somebody?
No, I think at least I didn't receive it. What I heard was one of the comments was that as a definition, we should be comprehensive, basically meaning whatever it is possible, right? We should account for it in the definition. If you are not including that, then I think you are not giving incentive for some of the peoples, right? As a final metrics, people can decide, yeah, I can probably approximate some of the numbers, right? But as a definition, I think you need to be comprehensive, right? Like that's what I said. Like we put the obvious things on our initial discussion, but it's not complete, right? So as a final completion, we should do the lot more in-depth analysis of all the different things and how do we factor into the formula, right?
Okay. So one thing that came to my notice was, and then there was a solution suggestion also was, remember Sammy, we were previously also talking that not a lot of companies or organizations would be aligned in sort of revealing all the information about how they are doing the measurements.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, if we are putting that spec where they have to sort of state that, okay, it was done at this sample rate and this workload, etc., that might at least initially get a couple of folks not very supportive of that. However, there was also a suggestion that then, maybe the, while publishing the PUE rate, for example, while publishing the PUE, they don't need to state all of this information exactly, but maybe give them categories. So, if they are this sample rate and this workload, something like that, they are in category 1. So they can get away with maybe stating their category and not stating the exact details that they are uncomfortable stating right now.
Yeah, I'm also was thinking about after the meeting or after the last couple of weeks. It probably, you're right. I think they may not be inclined to say what is my workload percentage, but at least we should put a max, min, or whatever the range and say what is my capability in the data center, right? Let us say if I operate at 60%, what is my IUE, PUE is going to look like, right? Then
Right.
at least you can compare equally, but they don't really disclose what they're operating currently, right?
Correct. That's the concern. They don't want to disclose what they're operating currently. But yeah, we give them like a max min envelope or something that might encourage folks to pick it up more easily.
Right. So we need to probably think maybe a category and option. But if you do the category, then it's a wide range, right? Like if you're going from 60 to 70 or 80, then it's a big band within that, right? So we need to see like what is the agreeable numbers that people comfortable in publishing my capability of data centers like this, so that you can at least compare apple to apple.
That is true. It might become a big band. maybe we sort of have
It's
to.
a paper exercise, right? It's a paper exercise. Yeah.
Exactly. Like we maybe have to see how wide each category is going to be. We probably have to think about that. And then it might be a little bit of a trade-off initially in getting folks comfortable with, sort of revealing what they are doing in the measurement. So, of course, the most accurate will be if they exactly stated what is the sample rate and workload, etc.
Right. That is probably use that definition to compute for internally, but when they're publishing, right, you can give a leverage for the people to be comfortable, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So another thing, I didn't had a chance to sit down with the sustainability on the DC track, facilities track, and this one. Did you had a chance to sync up, Shruti?
Your voice was getting cut right now, but you're saying, did I have a chance to sit on what session, what track?
The facilities track. There is a facilities track, so there is a sustainability metrics, right?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get a chance to sit on that one either, but we have Rob.
Yeah, I can. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah, I can comment a little bit. So my takeaway in general on sustainability is that the high level data center facility stuff, pretty straightforward. There's not much question about, there could be opinions on what's most important or not, but that's kind of straightforward. There was, I think, reasonably eye-opening when they started presenting on things like the concrete, the building material sustainability. That was kind of good from a scope 3 perspective. But there definitely is, I think, the new territory to tackle is what you guys are doing, is you look at the IT stack and understand, what's happening there. I think the feedback, there was definitely, I think, a few comments or questions about the IT stack, not just the facility stuff. So that's high level, kind of the feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also there is a track on the telemetry, right? I think we want to make sure that it's it's complementary, we are not duplicating, right? I think that's a message. I think we need to make sure that we are communicating well.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm confused. Under the facility you're talking about?
No, not under facility, under our telemetry.
Sustainability project, yes. The power telemetry.
Right.
Yeah.
So that,
currently, I'll give you a little, brief idea. So the track has started, after this particular one started. So they are less far along. But they are mostly concentrating on what are all the power measurement points in order to sort of have a complete view. So they are not so much going into like one particular metric that would come out of those power measurements, but just where should the power measurement exist? Like, for example, in each device, should each device have some telemetry collected for its power measurement? Like CPU right now informs us about the energy usage. But, like, for example, storage networking devices do not, actively have any telemetry that you can read for the energy usage. So they are sort of discussing that level, like device level. Are there places where telemetry needs to be introduced, power telemetry?
Oh, it's a device level, yes.
At least, right now that's where it has started. And the discussion is about device level and system level currently. So it doesn't seem to be overlapping. And I'll certainly try to, make sure. I also give them a little idea of what this group is is doing, so that I'll obviously try to make sure that it's not repeat effort. So I generally do attend their calls.
Okay, very good, very good. I also try to see whether I can attend regularly there, right? So we can communicate what we're doing and what is our requirement. We can communicate there, right?
Yeah. So right now, the way they are discussing the device level and maybe later on system level telemetry collection, that I think that's not overlapping with the work yet. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So any other kind of important things that we should be looking into?
Besides that was just a logistics feedback, not particularly about this work stream, but a number of people were saying they registered, I mean, they basically subscribed to the OCP sustainability work streams or the overall meeting, but they can't keep a track of when the meeting is. But yeah, that's just a logistics thing, and that's the reason I was trying to set up sending the calendar invite. I realized I actually got the idea from Rolf of Emotion Cooling, so they do that. They sort of just send an invite to everybody, whoever is on that subscription list. But yeah, that was just a logistics feedback thing.
Yeah, I see about you could. I see about 20 people subscribed. I'm getting a. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, I'm switching from my headset to the other one. Okay. I see about 20 people subscribe to our mailing list. Maybe out of 20, probably 5, 6 maybe from the OCP committee, general management itself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a good idea that we should kind of send a maybe reminder to the sustainability project again, if people are interested in joining there, right?
Yeah, that might be good too. The next main meeting is coming up on November 8th.
Okay.
If we want, we can, put 2 minutes for, not 2 minutes, we can put longer also to present and sort of give a shout out for folks to join.
Right. That will help a little bit, kind of people have not kind of gone to this detail, right? We can give them overview of what we are doing, just to get
right.
Some more people to looking at it, right?
Yeah.
That is one. And the second thing also I kind of noticed, I was start thinking about, hey, how do we kind of go to the, what do you call, operational, right? Seems like there's a couple of additional things we should kind of form the discussion. Are we going to have a OCP certified, like with a sustainability profile or not?
Okay, so like a certification you're saying, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So, Sami, I remember you mentioning this. Shall we actually, I'm thinking if the main meeting of November 8th is a good place, or should we bring it up separately with like Alex, Mohan, DJ?
I think probably should to even bring it separately and see whether as a team here, right, are they seeing similarly what we are thinking?
Okay, we can do that. So actually, before the November 8th meeting, I have regular syncs set up with Alex and Mohan. So if you want, I can quickly bring it up to them.
Sure.
Right now, so something that Rob informed us yesterday is that they are also looking to get from every project what they think is strategic initiative that should be taken care of in 2024.
Okay.
So, this might be under one of the strategic initiatives we want to push through or something like that. So we can also think about it that way, because anyways we have to submit our list of what we think are the strategic initiatives. So let me bring it up once with Alex and Mohan, and then accordingly I'll sort of try to bring you folks together and see if this needs to be one of the strategic initiatives.
Yeah, I think that will be good. Kind of, if we say this is a long term we are going to define, then we need to figure out what is that means underneath, and we need to put some definition around that, right?
Yeah, my only thing is the folks might feel that we are a little bit early to say whether we can do a certification or not. And like a couple of things go into that is like the LCA standardization is not really standardization right now. That's one major thing. Like when you tell them to assess carbon impact,
right.
The methodology is not really standardized right now. When we can measure power, but when we convert from power to carbon,
right,
that is also it's very variable depending upon energy grid, and where are you getting the energy grid numbers from is also very variable. So
yeah, I think there's two kind of thing, right? Given I think another discussion I was having with Kobe to kind of think about it, right? So this is one we were looking in our cloud service model. There is a plan design space before you really put the system on the production, right? As part of the plan, like let us say I have a platform, I need to know whether the platform, how much embedded carbon, things like that, right? So my thinking is, can we define a configuration file with certain details that when somebody is giving a OCP platform, that design or config file comes along with it. So, like if I put that particular platform in my deployment, how much embedded carbon is going to be, how much the things we are talking about, IUE, the what do you call ideal power, things like that, right? If you already define something for a platform, I can consume it as part of my plan phase itself, right?
Right.
In the operational phase, you are going to get a lot of information from, I don't know, Redfish and other telemetry and other things. But it's when you start putting the system, but you need to have something on your plan phase. If we can get something a readable, machine readable file rather than documents, then you're really saying, when I say OCP certified, I'm going to give that config file, I'm going to give this Redfish, all these things comes along with it, right?
And when you are talking about this, basically document or config file at the plant phase, are you thinking about it containing only carbon related to use phase information, or information related to the embodied carbon also?
Embedded carbon also.
Okay. Then in that case, I think we basically have to start solving this on a device level.
Right.
So if you see the other work group, right, the carbon modeling and exchange,
right,
essentially they are trying to do the step one of this, because they are trying to sort of ensure that the value chain members exchange the embodied carbon information.
Right,
for the devices. So once the device level is known, then only whoever is putting together the system will be able to sort of gauge the system's embodied carbon.
Correct. But I think what I'm saying is, if we say there's a OCP sustainability certified, as part of that definition, we will say you need to provide this config file, you need to provide this Redfish, all kind of things comes along with it, right?
I see. Okay. So we might not have the implemented steps for it, but you're saying that we establish this as a, formulation at least.
Yeah, framework or something to kind of say why we need to have this certification program, or I don't know, logo or whatever it is, right?
Okay.
So just a thinking, maybe
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about it, right? Let's figure out how do we kind of operationalize it, right?
Sure. Yeah. And I'll bring it up with Alex and Mohan in our sync also.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Any other things before I have one open I want to discuss with the team here? The open I have is what we said is the system IUE or IUE in general. I typed as a system IUE here. IUE is we are saying active power divided by computational power. And computational power, we are really saying whatever the power is going into the data center, and you are subtracting thermal conservation loss and idle losses. But the problem I see here is if I'm in ideal case, right? Computational power is going to be 0. Correct?
Going to be 0?
So because ideally you are not you are not running any workloads.
Yes.
If you are not running any workload, this becomes 0, right? The bottom one.
Your computational is only workload related power, not okay.
Correct? If it's big 0, then it becomes infinity.
Right. Sorry, 1 second. So the computational power is total server power minus thermal and minus conversion losses.
And
minus idle losses.
Idle losses.
Minus idle losses. So that is why it is 0. Okay, because you are subtracting the idle power.
Right. Because if we are not running any workload, then it becomes 0. Right? So then it becomes the infinity, right?
Yeah, that is true.
So my question is, do you want to put other way around, computational power divided by the server power? Then it's 0 to 1 rather than 1 to infinity, right? Or we can multiply by 100 and say it's percentage or whatever the number, right?
Right. Yeah, that might be better. Otherwise, we will have to put a caveat saying that this measurement is valid or this ratio metric is valid only when
more than 0.
Idle or something.
Even more than 0, when we are operating in 1%, 2%, it will be very huge numbers, right?
Right. Okay, that makes sense to me.
Okay. Then can we call it as IUE or still? That is another question, right? As long as we educate, then it's fine. But
yeah, a question on this: is this intended to be like with regards to the 0 thing? If there's no workload, is this intended to be an instantaneous measurement, or is it a averaged over time?
It's instantaneous measurement mechanism we are saying, but it is going to be averaged, right?
Okay, so yeah, I just didn't know how big of a problem is the the zero bit. So I don't, if the minimum increment that you'll report it on is going to be a week or a month or a year or whatever is decided.
Yeah, I think what I'm trying to go there, that's where I was start looking at how can I define a system IUE, rack IUE, and data center IUE. From data center level, even I use this formula, works out well. It's you are not going to operate a data center with 0 or ideal in the sense. But when I start looking at a rack, you may have some systems with ideal and some system with non-ideal cases, right? Now, if I want to do the sigma or average, how I want to suppose be doing it, then IUE average becomes infinity becomes it's a problem. That's the only reason I'm trying to see how do we want to go about it, right?
Okay, got it.
That is one. Okay, if you are all of us is okay with swapping, I can swap, and I can probably. I wonder what I'm trying to create is I want to create some representative numbers and run it through system rack and up level to data center level. If I have some sample info, how is that kind of looks? Are they coming together well, or are we little off? I want to do a calculation there.
Also, Shami, if we are reversing this ratio, sorry, one second, can you go up to the PUE slide wherever?
Yeah. PUE is 1 plus non-IT power by IT power.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That has IT power on the bottom.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, I guess that's fine. It'll just be different. Format.
Here IT power is going to have a non-zero value.
Correct. Irrespective of
correct
idle working,
right.
It will be non-zero. So this is fine even if we keep it this way. Okay. Yeah.
That is the one I'm kind of thinking about how do you represent a rack? Now I want to take this as a system. Oh yeah, another question I have also, right? If I have system and the system uses a shared power or shared cooling, how do you represent it at system level, right? As a formula looks good, but when I look at the system level, maybe this person thermal or power is probably outside the system, right?
Right. I think we have not, or maybe I've missed the session. We have not actually looked at how are these terms getting measured. The total server power is fine. That will be, easier to measure.
Correct.
But how are the other terms measured?
Yeah, but as a data center level, this numbers, this looks good. But if I'm producing a system, I want to say like I am really like effective. Either I need to put some what do you call weight for this, right? If I'm going to share two systems with a power and thermal, I should divide it by R. Maybe if I'm sharing the whole rack, I need to know how many systems are there and I need to divide. So we need to think about how do we make it system level and rack level.
Okay, so in my head, you're right. We look at system level, the thermal power and power conversion losses might be an issue. And if we look at the DC level, then I feel like how are we getting to idle losses? The thermal power is then fine. Then that we can, I think, gauge. But at DC level, the other term, the idle losses term might be an issue, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to put a formula here. I'm working on it. That's where I'm running into problem. But you can summarize it, right? If I take the system level and if I make it as a rack level, you will be producing something similar to that for a rack level. And basically, you can think of ideal as losses for all the systems summed together, right? That ideal loss for the rack level, right?
Oh, I see.
Assuming everything populated, right?
I see. Okay. Okay. So you're saying we would always try to measure that idle losses part at a system level and aggregate it for.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, that can be done here.
Yeah, that's why started working on the formula, but then I was running into a problem with this because some system may be like sitting ideal, then IUE aggregation I want to do. That's a thing I was trying to work on it. When I tried to do IUE aggregation, I cannot use a system level IUE. I should be just taking all this losses and adding it. Maybe works better. That's where I was thinking maybe we change it other way around, makes it better for a computational purpose. So maybe let me do this on like in the next meeting. Let me try to do a rack level and a system level formula and come back with some examples for a review so that we can look at some. I can put some. I was started putting some example numbers like here, like okay, if I'm operating at 50%, maybe server is consuming 70. Assuming total TDP is 100 watts, then maybe smaller letters here. Then thermal is 10 watts and power conversion is like assuming 99% good power supply 2 watts. And ideal losses are like 10%, so it's almost like 5 watts. Then what you're really getting is computation power is 53 and 70 by 53 becomes 1.32. Like that, I want to create some example data. Maybe we should even get some real world number and plug it here. Then we can really say like, if I do a rack level, how is that going to look like, right? This is not a right formula here. I think I'm still kind of working on the right formula. Then if I do a rack, a data center level, I can combine all the racks and say like, if I say data center load is so much, I know it's a combination of rack loads and which is rack is nothing but system level loads, right?
The rack level formula is an aggregation of the server level IUEs, right? Oh, is it not?
No, it's not going to be right because I need to consider your TDP and how much, right? Because let us say one rack has just a theoretical example, 2 system only, and another rack has I don't know, 20 systems.
Yeah, that's true.
I cannot divide equally, right?
You're calling each server as a system, right?
Correct, right. Again, whether I want to call it system, node, or whatever the name we should come up, what we want to align, right? So,
sure. Okay.
yeah, let me work on it this next week, and I will bring it for a review. But I would like to kind of plug in some number, and we want to feel comfortable with the metrics, whatever we are putting it here, so that we can say like, yeah, we are kind of aligned with that.
Yeah, it will be great.
Right, and another one also, like currently, like this is probably not a kind of straight line, right? It can be curve. So we need to figure out how do we represent the curves rather than straight line. So that is one probably we should start thinking about it. But the initial thing, I'm not. Let me even if I can use a straight line formula from 0 ideal to the thing, we want to feel comfortable with the formulas that we are putting. Okay, that's what I had today. Anything else?
Nothing
not from my end.
Yeah, nothing from my end either.
Okay.
We also discussed the feedback that we got. Yeah.
Right. Okay, but then very good. Let's regroup next week. We can give the 20 minutes back to you, all of you.
A quick question,
Yeah.
Sami. Were you having trouble accessing the recordings of the meetings, or?
No, I think, yeah, the question I was asking is, I see a lot of people posted the minutes in the site, right?
Okay.
currently like our minutes not appearing. I'm kind of trying to see whether it's auto created or is it we have to manually go and edit that web page and put it there, and where is the recording? I'm trying to figure out that logistics.
Okay, I'll try to. I have not tried to access the recordings either, but I'll try to figure out, because I think that's a common problem all our work streams are having.
Now I think looks like people are doing it. That means without that you will not see the recording posted, right? I'm just trying to figure out the logistics or how to do that.
Yeah, no, I mean within sustainability, our 3 work streams, I think all 3 of them are having that question.
Are they?
Yeah, because I know Deborah also had that question. She's on leave right now for a month, but she also had that question before she left. So yeah.
So
Okay.
actually, no, let me share this one that I'm seeing here, right? So if I'm not sharing it. So if I go to the call here, this is a sustainability project wiki.
Mm-hmm.
I see the recording of life cycle and metrics LCA.
Yeah, these are old ones. These are 2021. We used to have these work streams.
It's 2023. Oh, it's a DCEM is here. Okay.
Oh.
Maybe it's not labeled like that, probably. Okay.
But this was the other work stream. Okay. Maybe they have clubbed it.
Okay, maybe it's automatically posting or something. Okay. Maybe we should put the right title here or something.
The title is because if you see the recordings are posted from 2021.
No, so I see 2023, August 20.
Yeah, but the last one is 2021. It starts from
Yeah. Correct.
Because it used to be the other work stream.
Oh, okay.
This used to be actually the some metrics and LC work stream that was there before.
Okay.
And same is true with the one above where it says life cycle work stream.
Yeah, 2021. Yeah.
Yeah, these were work streams that existed in 2021 as per what people briefed me.
Okay. And I see some recording here. So I think this probably need to be looked and see like how is it gets put and who need to be doing what, right?
Yeah, we need to look at that. Can you once again scroll a little bit down?
Up. Okay.
No, down. Yeah, just right here. Yeah, I think the carbon modeling call recordings also. It is just that I think while Scott was there, Scott was able to post the recordings.
Okay.
And then Deborah doesn't know how to post the recordings because only June and July are there.
Right. I see it. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
even we had a September, October calls are not there. October calls are not there. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
try to ask.
Sure.
This out here.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Bye.